Well, good morning everyone and welcome back. So today is a very exciting day. I've been keeping it a little bit of a surprise. I'll explain more in just a little bit, but these boxes that turned up in the last video, I need to take them up and drop them at the cow shed. But if you follow me on Instagram, you will probably know what's already in these boxes. I had a little sneak peek in this one the other day, but here they are. So all these boxes are full of these, and these are just cow collars. Not just cow collars, but they're more like a Fitbit. So this part down here, this big grey box, that is actually just a weight. I think it's lead, I'm not too sure, I'll have to double check on that one. And this is the most important part here. So it goes around the cow's neck, and this little yellow box measures how it's eating, and it takes, I think, about 3 days to get sort of a baseline about the cow's normal activities, and then anything different it sort of picks up on. So it is pretty cool. And today the guys from Tru-test are coming along. It's just after 9 now, so I'm going to shoot back, have a little bit of breakfast. They're turning up. I think Mike the builder, he's coming. My father-in-law's over here, and we are going to collar all the cows. So we're going to bring Dad's herd into the shed first, and we're going to make a start on them. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. It could take a while. There's also some Sparkies coming about the same time, and they're going to put an antenna, which is the data link, just up on the shed there, which I'll explain later. So once we get all the collars on, we'll sort of run through it. Dave, he's here. He knows a lot about them, so he can sort of fill me in on any little blank parts that I have. So I'm pretty excited. It's definitely a step in the right direction, or a step into the future technology wise for us. It took a little bit of convincing to get Dad around, but I think it's definitely going to pay off. Breakfast is over, and here come the girls, so they're getting quite used to this now. Oh my God. It's quite a hard case though. This cow here, her indicator's all lit up orange, and we did make this morning, only sort of 4 or 5 hours ago, so that's brand new, otherwise we would have done her. Away go! So we got the A team here. We got Dwayne from Tru-test, living Waikato legend. He's telling me before he's only one of 16 players to play 100 games, which is pretty cool. We got Daniel and we've got Dave here, so they're just unlocking all the collars at the moment. So this is what happens. Just put that little thing over there.
1002, 1003, 1004.
There we go. Oh yeah, the light comes on. And the reason they do it is just to save the battery in there. So it only starts when you put them on. So what are these weights on the bottom? Is it lead that's in there?
Not too sure exactly, but if you feel the weight, it won't be lead.
Won't be lead? They are pretty heavy,
like
yeah.
If you feel the weight of it,
Yeah.
I'd say it's just like metal, steel.
Oh yeah.
Encased in plastic, just so that it doesn't make loud noise when it makes contact with, in shed feeding and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
So it just sort of dulls it a bit.
Yeah, yeah. 20 collars in a box.
20 in a box. It's always good to see the bottom of it.
Yeah. Empty pellet, so the collars are all done and they're all activated, so they're just waiting up there. We've already put some down the vet race over there because those are for these cows, and then the rest here is for the second herd, but just thought we'd activate all of them. Right, so the first row's in. Took a little bit of coercing to get them in, but here we go.
That's the first one?
Yep, I'll give you this.
Right, so this part always goes on the left. You want it about like that tight. Goes through. You've got to push that up. And then you want the weight at the bottom, and this roughly, they are calm, aren't they? Bottom girls. Hey. And that's it, just roughly about there, so it makes good contact. And
Will that always stay there, or do they slip around a bit?
they don't slip. Like the weight keeps it centered.
Right.
And like if you try and move that, there's nothing that'll make it move.
Getting through it, but each cow gets linked through the wand, which is there, which goes onto the phone like that. and now it can go on. First row's all done now, or they're just finished putting on a couple at the front. All looking good. On to the third row now, but I did forget to check the time when we started because I want to see how long it takes. So it's 11:15 now, and I reckon we probably started at maybe 1:45.
Here, sweetie.
Come here, Nullum. There you go.
Another row down. So they do come out and sort of flick their heads around because they're not used to it. Cows don't really like things around their head, but it will take a little bit of time for them to get used to. But I don't think it'll take very long at all. Oh, some of them are really going for it. Last row's in the shed now. I'm just going to go and get the other cows, but the time is 12:05, so just over an hour, maybe an hour 20. They came out of there alright, and they're going past the feed pad because sometimes they do just wait there because they think they're getting it. I'm gonna leave the gate to their paddock open so that when they're done they can sort of just trickle back down and go in there again, and then I'll feed out to them once they're all done. But I'm really surprised how short that took to do the first herd. So there's about 126 cows in there I think in about an hour 20, so that's pretty good going I reckon. It does help that there's a few of us there, like more the merrier I think. But how many's in here? There is 191, so probably a good 2 to 3 hours and we'll have it knocked out. I think these girls are going to go a lot better though than the 2 and 3 year olds in that first herd, and mainly because they don't have as much room to turn around in there. So we found with that other mob that they'd sort of push up and down quite a bit and then spin around, so it's a little bit harder. Whereas these ones I don't think can do that, so it should be a lot easier, but then they'll be a little bit stronger too, throwing their heads around. So bit of a catch-22 I guess. So what we've done is we are just doing them on this side of the pit though, so we haven't used that side at all just because the wall's there, and it's a little bit easier because Dwayne and Dan are standing here with that EID reader and just passing the collars over, so it just makes it a little bit easier this way. It does take a little bit of getting used to put them on. It's not too bad. It's just mainly getting them through that black clip thing at the end. The buckle's alright, but it just takes a little bit of pushing to get through. But once you get it through, you know at least it won't be coming off. And then you've got to slide it around. So this bit here, this main part, has got to sit where it is on the cow's neck at the moment. And this weight that's down here, that is mainly just to keep the collar so it is facing like that vertical and keep that where it's supposed to be. Just a bit of a smoko break, so mince and cheese pies all around. They're mostly all gone. Oh, look at that, donuts, biscuits. Holly did a good job. Bit of Coke. Happy people, happy workers. They weren't going too bad, but you can see here they do turn around like this a little bit, which makes it a bit more challenging. Are they all good? That might be a little bit loose. See, no, that's way too loose. It needs to go up a notch. Yep, so we're going to put that one up a notch. So you want to be able to get your hand under there and see how there's a bit of movement. So that's perfect. That yellow thing's sitting in the right place. Another row down. See, they're throwing their heads around. They are like the heifers, wondering what they got on. Won't take them long to get used to, and it doesn't hurt them or anything. And they won't worry once they get on a bit of feed. These cows are pretty good when you handle them around their head. They're not too bad. They do swing from side to side, but because they have been drenched most of their life, makes it just that little bit easier.
Should put them on the ball, then you know if they're doing it.
There we go.
3:30.
3:30.
There we go, all done. Last row. Done and dusted, yes. Big day, well, it felt like a big day. Awesome effort, thank you everyone. Thanks Mike, thanks for turning up at the end.
That's how many.
No worries. You can't beat the team effort. Can you?
Nah, exactly. So, oh, what is the time? Might be just after 2:30, maybe 2:45. Bang on 2:45, and I think we started at about 11:15, so it's not bad to do 315 cows. So that went pretty well, hey Dave?
I reckon that'll be one of the best we've done. It's good team, that makes a huge difference.
It definitely helped DNA testing the other day too, because all the Nate tags match the cow numbers.
Yep.
There wasn't any mucking around in that part, but we didn't get the data link up today, and what I mean by that is that it's an aerial that was supposed to get on the shed over there which collects all the data, but there's a little bit of a hold up with that.
Yep, so we'll be shooting through to Auckland tomorrow, get one sorted out and get it back here. The electricians are in the starting block, so
Yeah.
it'll the collars are still doing the job out there collecting information, so as soon as we get the gateway up there, it'll start feeding the information through.
And those collars, they collect 4 days worth of information, is it? And then they can?
Yep, they can 4 to 5 days, and it'll collect all the data. If the cow isn't seen by the gateway, and then as soon as she comes in range, it's all downloaded.
From the gateway there is a range of, is it a K?
A kilometre.
A kilometre.
Line of sight, but hey, we have had some that have been up to 1.5 km. It all depends, they don't go through trees or hills, stuff like that, but like this farm here, it's got a nice flow, so yeah, we should be doing pretty good.
There's a little bit of a hill there, but even in the faraway paddocks over by Buck's house, that's probably about 1.5 km, so I think it'll probably pick up over there on most days anyway.
Definitely.
But when it comes into, or when those collars come back into range, all the data gets uploaded again.
That's right. Yep.
Every hour, on the hour I think.
Yep, so every morning they're on their way to the shed. As soon as they get in range, the gateway will pick up the information from the collar, download it, and you'll start getting alerts on your phone, like heats or health issues.
So that's probably one of the cool things about the Tru-test collars, is that it only has that one gateway. I don't need to get any others or satellites else put out on the farm there, which is quite cool. And you guys got a 5-year warranty on your collars, don't you?
5-year warranty on the sensing part of it, the activity monitor, and 2 years on the collars.
Okay. In it there's an actual battery in the yellow part itself, and how long do you get per collar, say?
You're generally about 8 years out of a collar, and I guess a lot of that depends how many times the information's getting downloaded and stuff, so how much work it's doing. But as I say, we guarantee them for 5 years, and we would hope to get 8.
Yeah, so even maybe longer in some instances, maybe 8 to 10. So.
Yep, definitely.
And all the new technology, I guess goes to the gateway and then gets downloaded to the collars.
Yep.
It sort of,
Yep. And backing up behind the scenes, we've got a team of guys. If there's any issues, it's an 0800 number, and we're always here to back it up and answer any queries.
And that was quite cool that I found with them before. I did have troubles the other day with my EID reader, rang them up, and no sweat, they sort of handled it real well. So, good company to deal with.
Yeah. Well, hey, today went really well. It's a good thing that you had all your herd records sorted and in line. And it just makes a huge difference for pairing the EID and the collar.
Yeah.
Using a Tru-test wand, it just makes it so much easier.
And we probably had the right amount of people, so there's probably 4 people putting collars on the whole time. I was sort of, mucking around at the back, sort of pushing cows in and stuff like that, or pushing them up, but 4 sort of seemed to work pretty well at that. So, pretty happy with it. So here's a few collars here. There was 5 left over that we didn't use. So what happens is that I get left with a key now. This is the sort of master key, I guess. And there's this little token there. It's like a U-shaped. And what you do is you hold this against that for 8 seconds, and then a little light flashes and that turns the unit off, which I've done with this one. And then just to turn it back on again, you just hold it for 4 and it blinks twice. So all these units are off, and then if I get more cows, probably next season when I have a few more again, I can put these ones on them. These girls are just about to go on the feed pad, and you can see they're not really worried by the collars now, so they're pretty used to them. There's a few maybe still turning their heads around a little bit, and probably at milking tomorrow I'm going to have to adjust the odd one, like that cow just there. It's a bit hard to see her. See how it's sitting way up on its neck, so I just need to shift the yellow bit around more so it's on the side, but I think they're looking pretty happy. So what's the point of having these collars on the cows, and what do? Well, they are pretty much just a Fitbit, and they gather a lot of data about the cows and then it relays it to me, which I want to know. So what I've got to do now is I really need to go and put all the cows that are in this herd into their own group, and the same with the first herd, because it collects 2 sets of data. And the first one is that it collects from the cow itself, so it'll go and get a baseline. And what I mean by that is that for the next 4 days it's going to collect all the data and put it on a line, and then any differentiation in behavior, it will alert me. So it's good for picking up heats and stuff like that. So it'll get it from the individual cow, and then it will get a herd behavior too. So it'll compare the cows to the other cows in the herd. So if a big weather event happened and we got a heap of rain and all the cows went and stood in the corner and they weren't eating, it wouldn't send me an alert saying all the cows are sick because all the cows in the group are doing it. So going forward, it would have been quite cool to have all these collars on at the start of mating, but unfortunately it just didn't quite happen. But it's going to be able to pick the heats of the cows for me, so I can get away from using these scratchies or any tail paint indicators or anything like that. For now, I'm still going to use them for the rest of this season until I can trust the data that I'm given is accurate enough that I can actually just let the collars do their thing. It really only takes about 4 days worth of data until it can sort of start picking the heats for you. But the longer the better, because then it gets sort of a more even baseline, I guess. One of the other real cool things too, I think it's going to help with, is that around the mastitis. So mastitis is probably our biggest animal health issue here on farm. And I think it's going to be able to pick some of the cases up before we can. So when the cow stops eating because it's sort of getting sick, it'll be able to alert me, and we'll be able to have a look for that cow and see if there's any symptoms or test the milk or anything like that. So I definitely don't think it's going to pick up all the cases, but I definitely think it might help with some of them. But that'll pretty much do it for this video, guys. So I know there's probably a lot of things I haven't covered, but hopefully I will be able to in the future. Once we get that data tower up and running and we start getting data, I'll be able to show you guys how it's going, and I seriously can't wait. It is very cool technology. But thanks for watching, and like always, give it a thumbs up, that'd be awesome. And apart from that, see you next time.